Good afternoon and welcome to the DigiEduHack 2025 coaching call number 3 for hosts. The topic this week is recruiting participants, mentors, and jury. And when we discuss recruiting participants, we'll also discuss how challenge webinars can feature in that. The agenda for part 1, recruiting participants, will cover promotion and communications best practices, the marketing kit, additional guidelines, and other recruitment activities. To begin with, in terms of promotion and communications best practices, we'd advise that you begin with clearly defining your value proposition. So what that would mean is to clearly articulate what participants are going to gain from joining the event. And that might include such things as learning opportunities, networking, prizes, or the chance to make a positive impact on digital education in the future. We also suggest that you leverage social media. And this is one of the more popular ways to recruit participants. You could use platforms like LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram to spread the word. Make sure that you tailor your message to suit the platform and its audience, and do consider using paid promotion to increase reach. You might use your sponsors to come up with a budget to do that. Then make sure that you're engaging in targeted outreach. So that would mean directly contacting institutions, organizations, and groups that would be interested in digital education. That could include universities, schools, ed tech startups, teacher associations, student groups, and more. Email marketing is something that can be very powerful in recruiting participants. We suggest that you utilize a mailing list to send out personalized invitations and make updates about the event. Make sure to follow best practices for email marketing, including catchy subject lines and concise, compelling copy. See our marketing kit for details and ideas, and you can find that on the DigiEduHack website as well as in Discord. Partnerships and sponsorships with other organizations can provide additional resources and help increase the visibility of your event. Sponsors may offer financial support, prizes, or help with promotion. You can see our coaching call about recruiting sponsors on digieduhack.com or our YouTube channel. Furthermore, if you create engaging content to promote your event and share it on your social media platforms, organization blog or website, or even your newsletter as applicable, you can recruit more participants that way. Host a webinar or a live Q&A session to provide more information about the hackathon, answer potential participants' questions, and build excitement for the event. Our next section will be about planning and hosting effective webinars. And then, with regard to clear and regular communication, make sure that you keep participants updated about the event details, any changes, and reminders as the hackathon date approaches. And that would apply to potential participants as well as those who are already registered. The marketing kit. So each host has access to the marketing kit that we provide, and that contains approved visuals, sample copy, all of the hashtags that we use, which accounts to follow and tag, basic guidelines for social media marketing, and a sample and template social media calendar to help you plan your campaigns. You can find that kit on digieduhack.com in the host resources, and it's also in the resources forum on Discord. In terms of additional guidelines, make sure you take into consideration when communicating about DigiEduHack 2025, our annual theme, which is rethinking education in the age of digital skills. And then finally, with regard to other recruitment activities, you could engage in street comms, meaning you could create a nice flyer or poster with a QR code to your event page, scout and select places where you can leave your posters and flyers, and your audience of interest can have access to them. You may also distribute your flyers in a busy street, campus, or neighborhood. And do not underestimate the effectiveness of what we could call door knocking, where you go and meet people who can bring you in participants where they are at. This would also include picking up the phone. Then could you also attend events in the coming months that are related to education, the digital world, or that are of interest to your preferred audience? Consider festivals, fairs, conferences, other hackathons, etc. Go and attend these events, network there, have your QR code or flyer or event page ready at hand. Now we'll discuss challenge webinars. I'll walk you through what is a challenge webinar, why have a webinar, target audience, guest speakers, a sample agenda, practicalities, tips, and how to market your webinar. So what is a challenge webinar and what is its purpose? A challenge webinar is an informational event designed to educate about your hackathon challenge and its practicalities, and can offer powerful promotional material for your event. It is typically held online about 2 to 3 weeks before registration for the event closes, and it aims primarily to drive participant registrations. What is the benefit of hosting a webinar? Your webinar is a chance for you to create interest in your event as well as answer questions about it. You will create confidence in participants that they can succeed in the hackathon and generate more intrigue about the challenge topic. So you can build anticipation, clearly indicate what the hackathon is and who it's for, gather interested contacts to follow up with, generate content for social media and recruitment, and involve your partners for visibility and buy-in. But why have a webinar? Why not host it on-site instead? If you're hosting an on-site hackathon, you might as well think about hosting your webinar as an on-site or blended event. In that case, you may want to rebrand it a kickoff session or something more suitable to the format and catchy. In doing this, you create yet another local community outreach possibility to reach participants and be seen and heard. Think about organizing it as an afterwork. People can then get double the benefits from joining, be informed about the hackathon, and mingle afterwards with the like-minded. Perhaps provide some light catering, like coffee, beer, or snacks. It's always a sale point for an on-site happening. Regarding your target audience, who do you want to attract to your webinar? Imagine your ideal webinar participant and create your guest list, agenda, and marketing call to action to target them. Consider not just your hackers, but also potential mentors, jury, and even more sponsors and partners. Bearing in mind the purpose of your webinar, who do you need to attend it to make it a success? And who should you invite to speak at the webinar? The following profiles, to name a few, could be a suitable fit to present at your webinar: subject matter experts, mentors, judges, partner organizations, influencers in the challenge space, past hackathon winners, and more. Get creative. Here's a sample agenda for a roughly 60-minute webinar. You may start with an introduction by your hackathon moderator or an organization representative and spend about 2 minutes on that. Then review your agenda. Introduce speaker number 1 and allow that speaker to speak for maybe 10 minutes. Then introduce your second speaker and allow them about 10 minutes. After that, review hackathon practicalities and next steps. That will probably take about 15 minutes. You can, after that, open the floor to Q&A about the hackathon and speeches for another 15 minutes. Finally, wrapping up with a call to action, such as register, find teammates, join a Meet the Mentor session, and so forth, for about 5 minutes. When should you host the webinar? In order to maximize the effectiveness of your webinar as a recruitment tool, we recommend that you host the webinar about 3 to 2 weeks before the registration for your event closes. Consider an on-site, hybrid, or fully online format. And what platform to use? Make sure it accommodates a lot of participants, offers the possibility to record and send the recordings to just registrants in Discord, newsletter, event page, etc. And optionally, registration or attendance tracking to, for example, report to partners or follow up with participants. Here are a few tips. Don't make the session too long. Consider multiple webinars if your speakers need more time to present key information for your challenge. Use visually engaging slides. Utilize the DigiEduHack visual identity. Take a look at your marketing kit and guidelines from coaching call number 5 and your sponsor recruitment tech for ideas. Share the agenda and speaker photos and bios in the marketing materials, and share slides and video afterwards, which gives you another reason to contact potential participants. Also, keep your partners in the loop with this valuable content. How to market your webinar. Generate interest by leveraging your social media channels, your newsletter, webpage, flyers, etc. Create a Facebook or LinkedIn event for people to register and share. Use biographies and images of your speakers to attract viewers, and ask your partners to spread the word. Next, let's talk about recruiting mentors and jury. We'll begin with identifying the role of the mentors, how to select your mentors, and how to recruit them, and then follow the same format with the jury, discussing their role, how to identify them, and recruit them. The role of mentors is primarily to offer guidance and support, networking, learning, and validation of ideas. In terms of guidance and support, hackathons are fast-paced events where participants need to ideate, build, and present their projects within a limited time frame. Mentors provide guidance, support, and expertise to participants, helping them overcome challenges and make progress. Mentors also bring a wealth of experience and knowledge to the table. They can teach participants new skills, best practices, and innovative approaches to problem solving, making the hackathon a valuable learning experience. Mentors can also help validate the feasibility and potential of participants' ideas. Their feedback can be instrumental in redefining concepts and ensuring that projects have a viable direction. Mentors can also have valuable insights into already existing solutions, so teams can avoid duplicating existing work. And mentors often come from various industries and backgrounds, which allows participants to establish valuable connections and expand their professional network. Mentors can be a powerful driver for recruitment of participants. They'll navigate from team to team, fostering meaningful interactions and connections with participants. So how to identify your mentors? First, define the expertise needed. Figure out which specific skills and knowledge are required for your hackathon. Then utilize personal networks by tapping into your personal network and asking for referrals to potential mentors and judges. Encourage diversity. Try to strive for diversity among members, mentors, and jury members in order to bring in different perspectives and experiences. And finally, provide clear expectations. Clearly communicate the roles, responsibilities, and time commitment expected from your mentors. A timeline for recruiting mentors might look something like this: identifying candidates 8 to 10 weeks prior to the hackathon, preparing a personalized invitation letter or messaging representing the value of being a mentor and key information 7 to 8 weeks prior to the hackathon, and sending invitations to candidates at roughly the same time. Then keeping in touch with your warm leads 6 to 7 weeks prior to the hackathon, selecting whom of those leads to invite 5 to 7 weeks prior to the hackathon, ask for confirmation and invite mentors to the onboarding session about a month to 6 weeks prior to the hackathon, publishing the mentors' names and info to your hack page 3 to 5 weeks prior, host a mentoring onboarding session 1 to 2 weeks prior to the hackathon, send out the mentor guides and needed materials immediately after, and host a Meet the Mentor session combined with participant onboarding 3 to 7 days prior to the event. Another step to recruiting mentors would be to identify the candidates. Section 2 covers this topic in detail, and you can review the slides again. In terms of the invitation, you should prepare an invitation letter or messaging which quickly covers what DigiEduHack is, what your challenge is about, how their profile relates to the challenge, why and when you need them, and what's in it for them. And when you receive these slides, you can click on the link to the invitation letter template, which is found to the right. Then send invitations to the candidates. If you're reaching out to more than a couple dozen candidates, think about using a tool with merge fields to keep the names personalized. Use phone calls, as these are highly effective when possible, and you're strongly advised to leverage LinkedIn search and emails on social media to recruit your mentors. When you select your mentors, be advised that the mentor to team ratio is about 1 mentor for every 3 to 4 teams. Out of the people you have contacted and who have shown interest, select a fitted and balanced amount based on your requirements and the envisioned number of teams. Try to keep in mind diversity when making your final selection, and always have a pitching or presentation mentor. Then make sure you confirm commitment. Be sure you have total buy-in of all of your mentors. It is always good practice to book 1 extra mentor of each most crucial expertise in case there's a cancellation. An excellent and easy way to collect confirmations and needed materials is to create and send a form. Request in the form the following: Confirmation, personal data like name, email, and phone number, title and organization as applicable, consent to publish their names, photos, and LinkedIn account link, the picture and the LinkedIn account link, and it's always good to add a save the date to the onboarding sessions to this form. Once you have collected your mentors, you should then publish them on your Hackathon Challenge page, and there's a section on that page dedicated to showcasing your mentors. Adding your mentors to your challenge page can attract participants based on the mentors' profiles and the organizations they're representing. Now for recruiting judges, remember that the role of the jury is to evaluate the projects, recognition and incentive, feedback for improvement, and fair and objective evaluation. The jury consists of experts and professionals who impartially assess the projects developed during the hackathon. They evaluate the projects according to the evaluation grid provided. Find the evaluation grid in the website resources. Having a diverse panel of judges ensures a fair and objective evaluation process. Different perspectives and expertise can lead to a more comprehensive and unbiased assessment. It is fine if some of your judges are also mentors. However, a mentor judge should also split their time as equally as possible between all teams. Teams could perceive a mentor judge spending more time with some teams as an unfair advantage. Winning a hackathon can be a significant achievement for participants, providing recognition for their hard work and innovation. Being awarded by a prestigious and professional panel of judges adds credibility to the event and motivates participants to give their best effort. What to do when identifying judges. First, identify the expertise needed. Identify the specific skills and knowledge required for the hackathon. Tap into your personal network and ask for referrals. Strive for diversity in the jury panel to bring in different perspectives and experience. And provide clear expectations by clearly communicating the roles, responsibilities, and time commitment expected from your judges. A timeline for recruiting judges looks very similar to the one for recruiting mentors. You would want to identify your candidates 8 to 10 weeks prior to the hackathon, then prepare a personalized invitation letter and messaging 7 to 8 weeks prior and send out those invitations to your candidates. Keep in touch with your warm leads and select whom to invite by about 7 to 5 weeks prior to the hackathon. Ask for confirmation and invite them to the onboarding session about 1 month to 6 weeks prior to the hackathon. Publish the judges' names and information to your hackathon page 3 to 5 weeks prior. Host the onboarding session 1 or 2 weeks before, and send out the guides afterward. Again, you can find identifying judges, identifying candidates in section 5 in these slides. The invitation letter should once again cover about the same things that the mentor letter did cover, and that would include what DigiEduHack is, what this specific challenge is about, how their profile relates to the challenge, why and when you need them, and what's in it for them. And once again, we have an invitation letter template linked on the right. Same recommendations for sending invitations to candidates as we offered for the mentors, to use merge fields to keep names personalized, make phone calls when you can, and leverage LinkedIn search and emails through social media. We advise that you select 3 to 5 judges in your panel. If you're looking at having more than 15 teams, aim for about 4 to 6 judges divided into 2 panels, and each panel pre-screens half of the teams. Out of the people you've contacted and who have shown interest, select a fitting and balanced number based on your requirements and envisioned number of teams. Keep in mind diversity when making your final selection. Then you need to confirm commitment from your judges. Make sure you have their total buy-in. Once again, you'd like to collect your confirmations and needed materials via a form. So ask again for their confirmation, their personal data, title and organization, consent to publish their information, picture and LinkedIn account link, and add your save the date for the onboarding sessions. Once again, you'll find that there is a section of your Hackathon Challenge page dedicated to showcasing your judges. And again, adding the jury to your challenge page can attract participants based on the jury profile and organizations they are representing. Your onboarding session should take place 1 to 2 weeks before the event starts, and you can present the project in more detail. Explain how the evaluation process takes place with the pitches, Q&A, and deliberation. Present the evaluation grid and try to build bridges between the grid and your challenge using examples. You can use the guide as a reference for content. Make sure to emphasize the judge's schedule within the event. After your onboarding, prepare and distribute the jury guide and needed materials. To follow up on the onboarding session, send out the presentation material and recording of the onboarding session. Prepare a guide and send it out with all the session materials. The point of the guide is to summarize all the information judges could need during the event. You can click the link to see an example. It is always good to send a calendar invitation for the event day and time when judges are expected. And if you have questions about this or anything else regarding your hackathon, you can reach out to us at contact@digieduhack.com, and we are happy to help.